Hey fellas, how you doing? I'm a bit under the weather, but I'm gonna tell you the El Paso Police Department just showed up at my front door, and I'm going to lock my front door, lock the window where I was talking to him, and I think I have to be very honest with you guys. When I was my remora, I'm gonna open the door for. Um, when I was inside, uh, I'm talking about being locked up. So, the last time I was in, I was only in for 18 months. And that may seem like an eternity to some of you guys, but it's not. If you ever get locked up, and you know what, I'm going to say this to you so that you don't get confused if you ever have to go inside. There are things you may do on the outside, and you may not receive the prison sentence that you deserve. But when you get inside, you have to click up. That may not mean anything to you, and I'm just trying to get to a point to where I sit down so I can talk to you. The gentleman that came to my door, and they're not bad guys, they're just doing their job. It's the El Paso Police Department. And they wanted to know if I was providing material support for a group of people inside. And of course I'm not. I would never do that. That's just, I would never do that. But I'm going to talk to you about what happens when you, back when I was in, we call it roll in. And I'm not talking about county jail. County jail is, I never had, you can have a lot of fun in county jail. So anyway. So you're going to go into, when you first go into big boy jail, you're going to get called, you're going to get pushed into what's called segregation. And they're trying to find out what kind of guy you are. And all of us that are already inside, we're also trying to find out who the fuck you are. Now listen, it doesn't matter race, creed, color, it doesn't matter anything. It matters what you did. I'm going to say this, and it may make me a bad guy, and if you don't want to hang out with me anymore or do anything else with me, that's okay. But if you're a Chomo, and that's a child molester, if you're a fucking Chomo, you have to, sometimes if your celly is good, they'll get your driver's license. And your driver's license or your card or your papers or what you're charged with, they give you a copy of that. And if you don't know what keystering is, you put that, you fold that up and you put that between your ass cheeks or underneath your balls, in between your balls and your asshole, which we call the taint. And when you get to the yard, you stand in the middle of the yard and you wait to be claimed. The El Paso Police Department guys that came to me. Now, yes, listen to me. If you were good to me when I was inside, of course I'm going to put money on your commissary every month. Of course I'm going to write you a letter and let you know what's going on. Of course I'm going to talk to you. Well, they don't fucking like that because It just doesn't fucking matter what they like or doesn't like. Let me just get to the point. I'm not anymore a ride or die guy. I cannot tell you. The guy, one of my good friends here in El Paso, two of my good friends in El Paso. One's a football coach, the other one's a police officer, and he is up there in the police department. And he asked me, "Hey, would you be willing to go on a ride?" I was like, "Yes, I'll go on a ride with you." But they, as soon as they saw my record, they're like, "Fuck no, you can't go on a ride with that fucking crazy cracker." Anyway, let me get back to the fucking point. There are things you can do as a man that we all agree upon are validating. Now, anyways, I'm going to say that word one more time. There are things you can do as a man that would make you validated or validating. So, but if you show up and you're a chomo, before you even get into segregation, we're going to know who you are. And nobody's going to claim you. Nobody wants a chomo. That's a child molester. And I know that a lot of people in the court systems and that they don't actually get dealt with the way they need to be dealt with. So, anyways, it is what it is. The El Paso Police Department showed up at my door today to ask me if I knew anything about this guy who got deleted. I don't think I could say anything. I cannot tell you how bad. I'm never going to that restaurant again. Anyways. I don't know anything about that. I'm not part of that lifestyle. I never had the keys to a yard. I was never a big guy or anything like that. I did my time. I shut the hell up. Anyways, let me go back to the point. So the El Paso Police Department, they're at the front door. Two officers. One's a detective in civilian clothes. The other guy's a sergeant. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. I wish you the best. Do you need a bottle of water or anything like that, electrolyte or anything? I'll be happy to do that, but I'm not coming outside. I don't have anything to say to you. And I don't want you to misunderstand me, but I'm going to invoke my right to remain silent. And listen to me. You have to say that. You have to say that I'm invoking or I'm going to remain silent. That's my right. If you don't say that, they can push that around. So anyways, they kind of smiled, went back, got in their car and left. So are there guys that fuck, I don't know how to say this. Listen, I didn't grow up with a family. Now I have a family now. I have a good Mexican traditional family, which I love, but I didn't grow up with that kind of family. But when you're locked up, you have to click up, and you have to be willing to do what it takes to survive in there. And I did what I had to do to survive in there. So that is what it is. 18 months. I don't know if you know that's like a year and 6 months. All right. And I went in for assault causing, at that time it was called grievous bodily injury. So anyways, it is what it is. There are African American men that I put money on their account every fucking month. There are white guys that I put money on their account every fucking month. They were all brown guys, Latinos. Because, all right, then I put money on their counter every month. Now, I lived on the border. Now, if you could take and you make a corner like this, now, the white guys were on the inside of my corner. The Latinos were on this side, and the black guys were on this side. I didn't have any problem with any of them. I was never just, hey, just fucking done fucking that. Why am I doing this video? Because it may or may not come out what I went to jail for. But I did, I've been locked up several times, many times, more times as a juvenile, but I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything since I moved here from Manassas. That's me. That's what I'm saying. So it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you this, that if you go in for a DUI, or you go in for beating somebody up, or you go in for abusing somebody, a child, if you go in for abusing a child, or you go in for sexual assault, you're going to get fucking dealt with. You can't fucking hide. No one's gonna want a room. Hey, just a celly. We call him. Hey, he's fucking there. So I don't mean this to be rude or mean or anything like that, but there are realities. If you get drunk. You get caught drunk driving, and it's like your third or fourth time. You're coming in. We're not gonna fuck with you or anything like that. But if you come in, I cannot listen. 80% of the fucking bad guys in there have daughters. There's a group down here in Texas that look like me, and they're called ABT, Aryan Brotherhood of Texas. You don't want to be a white guy and go in jail. Anyways, that's not me. Fucking shut the fuck up. If you're a Chomo, if you're a wife beater, if you beat up on kids or you do something, you're just a fucking man. You're going to get dealt with, and you hope you better never come to jail. I'm even talking county. Hey, fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. There are a lot of things that liberal people let slide on the outside, that you can't come in to jail with that kind of driver's license. Now, I know it is a driver's license. It's your record, a list of why you got locked up. So anyway, and we call it keystering. So it's where you put them underneath the back of your balls, or you put it in the crack of your ass, so you can go to the yard. And when you go to the yard, you just stand out there, and hopefully somebody from your race will come up and claim you. And if they don't, you are fucked. So, anyway, just wanted to make that point. I'm not sure what I'll title this, and I know it may sound absurd and out of the ordinary for me, but it took me a very long time to unfuck my life and realize that I wanted a better outcome And it's one of the biggest reasons. I have no problem being alone. Anyway, let me just fucking get the point. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you have to take care of yourself. There's all kinds of stuff you can look at online. But if you get to the point where you physically do something horrible to a woman or a child, and you end up inside, you're going to get dealt with. There is nowhere for you to hide. And anyways, it is what it is. I'm not going to say. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, take care of yourself. Like a fort in a G-string, West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. I can't say anymore. Love you guys. Bye-bye.